All right, everybody, let's just get going. You people all know what I've come here to probably say. This should all come as no surprise. The phrase, of course, you are familiar with. This was a building year. This last year was. We suffered some losses. Yes, we suffered some this last season, and we had to start out all over in a fashion. We had to come at this thing as if it were, you folks in the press can tell me if this is a pleonasm, a new beginning. We made a few changes here and there and here, and we made them mostly with the fans in mind, because we wanted the fans to be happy. In our minds, we wanted the fans to love us, and I think that they should be happy. In my mind, I think they should love us. Listen, this last year was not the easiest year. The plan was that it would be for building, for rebuilding, replacing what was lost, replenishing what was gone, and trying to reverse a routine of losing that had grown ingrown and somehow strangely proud. Our strategy was, in theory, to betray that which had become merely habit, to betray that very fear, that very thing that's kept us alive, that says to us, don't cross the street without looking both ways first. Don't speak your mind, and certainly never your heart. But habit's a hard habit to break. And was it just habit that kept us from dropping to our knees in the middle of the street and sobbing and begging, could somebody help me, please? Was it mere routine that kept us on our feet with our mouths shut and our hands in our pockets? Last night after practice, some of you might find this interesting. I found myself standing in the unforgivable light of a grocery store and staring at my reflection in a freezer, realizing you're not just having a bad day. This is what you look like now. This is what the years are making you. The praying kind probably would have prayed. I just wanted to pick up a courtesy phone and beg into it. Could somebody come to the front of the store and clean up the spill that is my life on this earth? Could somebody please just help me through this punishing, crushing, nauseating sorrow? And so that's what this last year was. We had to look hard at some things, and surprise, surprise, we found they looked hard back. But in many ways, I think we should be happy. We sold some hot dogs, we got some sun, some fresh air, we played some close games. Some of them even we were in until right up to the end. It was the life. It really was. And granted, yeah, no, this was not the greatest year. Some people are saying it was barely a shambles. I'm sure there's a more charitable view, but okay, fair enough. Fair enough. I didn't know how hard would be until this last year. Nights, weeks of nights in a row. I bet I walked 1,000 miles up and down my street alone. I'd just come home and go out walking, my eyes all runny, just walking, counting up the things I don't have anymore, lamenting the fair lady of my own incompetent sonnets, who I lost, by the way, or failed to win, or forfeited in some miserable show of inwardness or downwardness or shame. It was a hard year. Tough schedule. My love is like a sunset, stunning, and then over. And in the year since her, there has not been a single thing but ashes and formalities. A year of cigarette butts and minor car crashes. Rosemary for remembrance, glucosamine and chondroitin for the joints. And I will never love anything or body ever again, and I am not young and handsome, and I could not coach a gallon of water out of a paper bag. So that was some poetry. And yes, so obviously I've had my doubts. I've had what some people might call personal problems, but I tried to run things different with a little elegance, a new uniform. I tried writing that thing about the sunset. I tried to act with a sense of honor and calm amidst the urgency and vulgarity of I don't know. You lived through it too. You tell me. You lived right straight through it too. What was this last year? Can we ever? I don't know. Christ, Jesus Christ. What did you feel this last year? Of what would you be speaking if you were sitting here this year speaking of the last? And did any of us have what he would call a winning season? And what would that even look like? And can someone tell me, while we're at it, when is high school over? When comes high school to its high schoolish end? When begins my true life as me on this earth? Because I'm really not sure when the seriousness is supposed to begin. And I am so filled with wanting. I so crave to know just a little, anything, a fact, a meaning, a song, even a jingle, a little lullaby to be put to sleep by. To sleep. I'd like to know a real poem by someone other than me, with a vocabulary other than my own. Just a gentle little rhymey poem for the old man with the clipboard and whistle. It was a real hell of a year this last year. What's that saying about the penguin and the 50-yard dash? That's exactly how it was, really. It was a trying time, a building year, an endless, gorgeous, endless loss, which now is over. And how many more are left for us to lose? Now, I know you guys in the press are going to have a field day with some of the things I've said up here today. I know you're probably thinking something seems to have kind of snuffed out the fire this guy had when we hired him. You're probably thinking, can someone in this condition ever get it all together and grab it with both hands and win us a championship, given the fact that he is halfway gone in distraction and mourning over a woman who is solely herself in every inch of her body and might have been the best thing that ever happened to him, considering the fact that he is capable of letting someone happen to him? Can someone like this ever show us how not to lose? Well, I'll tell you, because I came here to tell you a few things. I came here to feel the burn from your flashbulbs and to speak a few things into that harsh light, my heart included. And the answer is, I don't know. I don't know if I can lead anyone to victory or lead anyone anywhere. I don't know if my plan is a good one or if I even have one. I am just asking you to let me be still, to let me turn my face upwards to the heavens while the rest of me slumps earthward, and let me say, and please, you've just got to hear me, and let me stand here and say to the sky or the ceiling and to all of you, and I quote, I don't know in general, and in particular in particular. All I know is that someone has to be everywhere. And it's hard not to realize I'm the one in the position I'm in. I sit before you in this position, before all of you sitting there, I sit before you as that man, in spite of all the grim realities and lonely terms of this great game and all that we who play it face. And I lived as that man this last year past, and I think I should be happy. I do. I think we should all be really terribly proud and happy and afraid and thrilled, really thrilled at the upcoming year and all the life that it will naturally contain. This is my feeling on this. We probably only have time for one question.
Hello. First of all, let me just say that we are suffering with you families. Let me say just that we're suffering. We're staring at each other and up into the sky like you, and that we have, while staring, tried to act. In a first very small step, we have, as of tonight, called off tomorrow's company picnic. I know that doesn't sound serious. We are canceling other events as well because of the failure of the airplane. We don't know what we should do, honestly, or what we should say after doing it. But we do know the last thing anyone wants to see is us enjoying life. Drinking too much and driving home drunk with someone from personnel with a temporary tattoo and a sunburn, so the picnic, of course, is off. Now, I have a father who died, incidentally. He taught me sports and going outside, picnic things, so I was just thinking about him. My father's gone, possibly as yours is, though mine died in a chair. He died sitting quietly and not in a plane in flames screaming downward at the speed of sound. His final resting place was an unraveling easy chair in the living room. He was only human, and though it could have been, this was not listed as the cause of death. Countless nights beneath relatively fatherly men did nothing to lift the weight of that sad time. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I don't know what it would be good for you to do. Try those things we all try. As for why, it is, as of tonight, undetermined. Who knows? Whether an act of God, some handsome pilot's drunken error, whatever it was, here we are. And we will try to move forward with time, taking hard comfort in the fact that, with or without us, time is moving forward too. But, so yes, it was Flight 514, the night flight to Johnston, and there were, at this time, no survivors. We've been told so little so far. Gravity, we trust, was a factor. Did they know when it was still up that it was coming down? We hope not. We hope they felt secure on their airplane, as do we on our Earth, and denied the fact of their coming doom, as do we ours. We hope they were enjoying the in-flight movie, which was a Finnish film called The Bleeding Parade. I don't know if these small details are helpful. I do have some news or business, some awful business. Families of the deceased get a round-trip ticket, as well as a bereavement allowance, which should help with travel and funeral plans. You get so little sometimes. You people whose loved one is gone. You people who are, in fact, also going, dying, but from the inside out, from having time go by, as died my dad, as will probably die me, not from doing anything daring, not flying, not skydiving, just sitting there being human, with your mouths open, looking so sweet and deaf. What a world, isn't it? All of us. There may be other compensation. I want to say, as the spokesperson, it's my job and it's not easy, but I want to say, I understand. I think I understand. You waited and waited at the airport. You raced there in the first place through unspeakable traffic and the parking situation. And then you got to the proper gate and waited, and they didn't come and didn't come. And the monitor said delayed. And I'm sure it was confusing and then frustrating and now just so sad. And can these things, can any sad things ever even be compared? And is it insulting to you if I think they can? I am so sorry. My degree was in hospitality management. I fell into this job through an acquaintance in the field. We're all going there, wherever, at different speeds, in different styles. And I guess I am, as the spokesperson here, speaking to you, asking you to look around. Look at your hands. They used to be so tiny, and now they're not. And they're old. We have lines on our faces, around our eyes from years of just laughing and using the wrong soap. The body is its own disaster area. The human face is a call for help. Help! Help! We need help! We are in flames. Port engine out. Landing gear is mangled. Radar is blank. Please, foam the runway. We are coming in, coming home, and down, and so shall you all! I'm sorry. We don't have a formalized tack we take in events like this. We understand how little there is to say, but that something must be said. We are grateful that nights like this are rare, that country air has a record of somewhat excellence, but I know that doesn't help. I want to help, but I know I can't, and I know that doesn't help. So help me and hear me and understand. I beg you that I am just saying, maybe it was quiet. Maybe all the lights and engines were out and it was just a dark and quiet thing falling through the night. The whole thing coming apart like a comet, but also unlike anything. And maybe, I'm just saying, maybe it was the high point of something. Maybe it was somehow something's perfect ending. And maybe all the people on the crashing plane, the still living, soon to be, were wishing you were there, assuming useless crash positions among the blankets and little liquor bottles, living, busy, falling through the night. The silence in the silence, about to make a serious noise. And maybe they felt famous or special or chosen, loved maybe somehow, finally. I don't know. We don't. And this was, by the way, an experienced crew. They had flown several thousands of hours. They knew what they were doing. We are so sorry. We wish it could have been another way, but it wasn't. We are asking you to be grateful. Here we are. That's all, just us here still, and we want you to see the miracle of this. Officially, we want you to feel giddy, for your heart to pound, for you to feel blessed that the plane stayed up for as long as it did, that the plane could even fly at all, that the thing actually got off the ground in the first place. This is all I can currently say. I am so sorry. I would tell you more if I knew more. Is it started? Have we started? Oh, I'll wait.
Hi. I'm a little nervous. Who isn't? Anyway, where to begin? I guess there's no need in trying to describe myself because, well, here I am. Here, I look like this. I don't know whether that's good news, but okay, what else? I'm good at grocery shopping. Fairly good. Uh, I shine my own shoes. I don't try to say anything funny when someone close has died. I don't stop drinking. Uh, I know women have their times. I'm average sized, of average intelligence, blood pressure too, I guess.
Sorry. Now? Sorry.
No pets, but I have a deep love and understanding of the dog, although almost none of any other animal. For instance, once some geese came flying over me, and I thought to myself, now where the hell are they going? Another time, a moth kept bothering me by flying at my lamp, so I turned it off. And the third instance concerns a mourning dove and how quickly I was to make it wish that we had never met. But I'm hardly ever like that.
I can't tell if there's anyone. Oh, well, I guess I'll just start talking. I love the outdoors. Air and weather, the sky. I'm the type to like walking around with the little book, trying to identify trees and plants. I like the indoors too, don't get me wrong. The great indoors. But I love being outside. I like swimming. I have 5 bathing suits. No, 4, because one time, no, I was right, it's 5. It's not important. I never saw myself doing this. I've seen myself doing things strangely, but never this. Anyway, feelings, me, thoughts. I'm always surprised when the ocean gets really quiet. And I don't understand why breaking the sound barrier should make so much noise. Things like that. Everything seems either too quiet or too loud. I'm torn in half almost 50% of the time. This is most days, although there are other times when things aren't quite so clear. For instance, this one time, I couldn't get over it, but there it was, and you go figure it out.
I have different interests. I enjoy not traveling. I don't speak any second language. I stay out of museums. I stay away from home. I don't have a favorite food, but I guess I like cholesterol. I tend not to speak unless spoken to. In the summer, I like not having the heat on. In the winter, I like to not sit in front of a fan. I try to look on the bright side. I am not, as I look around myself, currently bleeding.
I'm one of those people who believes that there are 2 types of people, and these can be divided into billions of other types of people, which time prohibits me from, anyway, I don't know. But I have my type. My types, I guess. I like watching people clapping for something they really like and watching someone sign his signature. I'm also really attracted to men who black out when asked a serious question. I guess I like it when I feel I'm really being heard.
When I was little, wait, God, forgot what I was going to say. When I was little, completely gone.
Dislikes, rudeness, untimely remarks, bossiness, ostentation, also nerve damage and heart disease, heat stroke, also heat, death, regular people death, the dying of US presidents, the death of a family dog, Alice, for instance, and the passing of eras, decades, everything, all this time going by, getting old, dying in a sense, like grass, like annual flowers, like something like that. Like people. None of that really puts me in the mood, but I guess there's a chance that any of it could.
Yeah, anyway, onward. I am such a fan of shoulder length hair and any color eyes, and I like how women talk. I have my faults, obviously. Some weak points are my knees and back, and I don't have any patience for things that take a long time, although it should be said that I am usually very deeply just waiting. Um, Bugs fly in my mouth sometimes. I'm just standing there open mouthed with wonder. I stay like that long enough to give them time to fly out because although unknowing, I am not unkind. I like walking. I'll run if I have to or stay still, but you're never going to see me shaking on the floor, biting into my own hand and crying out into the night, except sometimes, but really only rarely on those occasions.
Give life a go with this attractive and elegant woman, this sensitive and sympathetic, maybe somewhat removed, somewhat ingoing, but sensitive and sympathetic.
See the world, see the, I don't know, world, see some sort of.
You know what?
Did you ever feel?
I don't know, God,
Sometimes I just want to do someone over and have that be it. Sometimes I quote love with nothing but my hands and the dried up words I've practiced and remembered. Quote, love.
A lot of times it's only to somehow make someone pay for my former life as a child. A lot of times I don't feel anything but the cum on my stomach.
Yeah. I am not what I look like. I want to say to people who think I look like a certain type of person, even though as I think about it, I see how I could be wrong.
I'm sorry. Sometimes I feel differently. Sometimes I find the world so attractive and I look at it, the world, and I think of all the different parts of it and people and things that could happen. And I think, wow, ouch. But mainly, wow.
I take it back. Forget what I said.
What else is a person supposed to say?
Who doesn't have a few bad days out of the 25,000? 20,000?
Hear the call of the evening, of the night, of a lone person, the call of a trembling paragraph of my favorite language, English. It was my minor.
This is from this thing. I don't know. Let's go out into the night, into rancor, over shiny highways, down grand canyons and tree-lined dead ends, Milady and I, into and unto the rude world awaiting. It's from this letter I tried writing.
I want to start a family, or at least finish one. Either way, that would be later. What else can I tell you? You. I like wine. Summer, same as anyone. I wear dresses. I used to know how much I weighed, soaking wet. You know that old saying? I used to. My first. I have this picture in my mind. In it, I'm soaking wet from running and sweating or the rain or the feeling I'm having. Everything is all. I'm sorry, I've lived with this for as long as I have lived with anything. I can see the sky and the trees bending and the birds flying away somewhere and me, and I am running in a dress and it's raining. There is the feeling of someone else, some other ghostly you there or just about to be there. I'm always running, not away from or towards, just running. And I'm in a meadow, usually surrounded by some woods, looking at everything, at all the natural forces and leaves moving, trying to find some secret order in it, some higher, darker good, some lasting, helpful truth, other than that the world keeps moving on, destroying things. Me, for example, myself.
As for yourself, you're of a sunny disposition. You have what shampoo bottles describe as normal hair. Yeah. You like to see those plywood signs that say, pick your own berries. Sometimes you like to cook and clean, sometimes you don't. You're quiet in bed, unless in the middle of some great woe or, I don't know, something. You sometimes wish you were dead, but you'll probably die wishing you could live, and you know that. You imagine things in a certain way. You draw little drawings of things. You were young. You get scared to death. You start shaking. I know you're out there somewhere, shaking.
You're always in the distance, athletic and lean, or I don't know, just describable, somehow recognizable to me. People can see your life story in the way you hold yourself, in the way you look at things, your posture. You probably collect something. You were once suicidal, but have since lost interest. You're looking for me, someone like me. I've been described as the girl next door by neighbors. I'm occasionally given to crying in the daytime. I'm given to wearing no shoes. I'm given to suffering from cervical cancer and disorder of the nervous system, immense pain in my lower back, and fits of unspeakable but finally, ultimately not uncommon anguish in the night. I'm given to probably almost everything eventually. I like horseback riding.
I like riding horses. One time I fell. I did something to my shoulder. It healed, but I got older and older. And all that time, I kept having this, I don't know, I'm not the type to have visions, but a vision. I'm standing in your yard in the country. I don't know how I got here. It's fall. The weather is always cold and rainy, uncompromising, good. And you're coming home, holding groceries, fooling with your keys, looking up. It's so simple. Notice me. Please care that I am standing on your property in the rain. Acknowledge my soaked clothes somehow. I just want to say something. I just want to call over to you. I just want to say, hey, hi, it's me after all these years. This isn't imaginary. I know it isn't. I'm looking at you and I am asking you, I am not alone right now on this earth right now. Am I? Fuck.
Isn't life just a history of the times when you did or didn't turn? This is how I always saw it. This, with you right there, but not yet, and the clouds all dramatic. I just want you to turn. Please come toward me. Please look at me for once in my life. I'm saying please. I'm saying look.
I know what happens in life, but I don't know if I'll be alone when it does. It seems like a big thing not to know.
The birds and animals and everything are all quiet.
I picture us in a cemetery.
Oh, what a beautiful day.
Standing under a tree, arms touching, our arms touching.
The rain dripping on the leaves like in every poem ever written. You and me, side by side.
I just want to be calm and to be able to look without having to look away.
I just want to be home for once, together with someone in the regular world, but together also in another little world of our own devisement. I believe in this, my picture of life. Why would I keep having it? I read the newspapers, but I still believe in this.
I feel weak. I'm worried. I'm weak. I get nervous. Sometimes I don't know what to say sometimes, which is weak.
I have waited and waited and waited, and look at me. I still am. In all recorded time, what were they recording, if not the secret and sideways dreams of people like us? Lone people in serious wait, like it's what we're born for. Devisement's a word, isn't it?
When I used to be younger, it was my belief that you met some other person. I believed that the world was small. I thought the world was my mom and dad. And then you met someone, some other person, and you just go off. Simple as that. You just go off somewhere and get old slowly somewhere in love. I believed that people were perfect and that life went on forever. I was right about everything.
I enjoy tennis.
Please send a photograph.
A sense of humor is important.
You could send a drawing.
Oh, I would walk all over the bleeding world.
I'd like to see your handwriting.
I would, for a man who could tell me the time.
I swear I'll answer.
Yeah, I'm the type of girl who likes music, but on Earth isn't the type of girl who likes music. I'm looking for someone to talk with. I would give up my body in this world for a single conversation.
I am looking for someone, and I hope I'll know her when I see her. I am looking for something that so far seems to have been happy to have kept itself hidden.
Have I said what my name was?
Is there supposed to be a little light that comes on?